So this video went viral. Let me say that much, of this woman at a singles mixer in Dallas, Texas. Let me go ahead and roll this short clip and let's really get into it.
Went to a singles mixer and only women showed up.
So, of course, this video, a lot of people had a lot of responses to the video. I saw a lot of responses from men also when they saw this video. Some of the responses were, well, this what y'all wanted. You know, y'all say y'all didn't need a man. Some of them were saying that, well, why we show up to something like that, then we come to the table where you at, you looking at us up and down. If we're not dressed the way you think we should be dressed. Some of them say, well, shoot, if you're not 6 feet, you're not making six figures, you know, well, shoot, they look at you funny or don't want to say nothing to you, you know. So a lot of guys just feel that they will be rejected on these unrealistic expectations. Of course, some of them made excuses and say, well, it was the same night as the NBA finals, so that's why all these men didn't show up. That is actually not even true. We're not talking about the NBA finals, but what's not true is that not all men watch the NBA like that. Actually, if you do the research, the viewership on the NBA finals was actually very low. It was not high. Me personally, I used to be big into the NBA, definitely in the when I was a little kid in the 80s, definitely teenager in the 90s, definitely, you know, grown in the early 2000s, but after the early 2000s, I kind of just not watching NBA no more because the NBA changed. It's not like it was, you know, like it used to be. Same thing with NFL. I was big about football, you know, I played football, things like that. And football isn't the same for me. It's hard for me to watch NFL these days. It's just, I don't like the rule changes. That's why I liked when they had the XFL. I like the rules they had in the XFL. They're talking about bringing it back, but I hate when they you know, pandemic happened and kind of messed off the XFL. Those games were exciting. So all men don't watch sports like that. They really don't. But, you know, and I have to refer to this, the late Kevin Samuels. He was trying to save these women. I admit that. They think that he was so harsh. They think, listen, Kevin was actually trying to get y'all married. And Kevin was telling y'all what was wrong, why what put you in a position not to get married. And a lot of them hated him for it, hated him for the truth. Now that Kevin's not here anymore, he's not here. Nobody is not trying to save you. Nobody's trying to help you. Kevin was the last one, I think, in my opinion, to try to help you. And look, y'all danced on this man's grave, danced on it. And then now look at what he was trying to say. Look at what's happening. These guys today, they have, listen, this is the thing. The worst thing that could have happened to those, and we only talking about the women that talk like that, the women that have this attitude, the modern, you know, American woman that have that attitude. Now, I'm not saying all, because there's no all to anything. But see, at one point in time, brothers had to put up with it because y'all had a monopoly on the dating options for brothers. The worst thing that happened for those types that was over there, and because of that girl code, you don't get on other women. You kind of just stick with them. And then what ends up happening, the good suffers for the bad. Now you're starting to see more women that's the good ones come out and say, hell no, I'm not siding with that crap. That's not who I am. That's this one. That's that one. And man, please don't demonize all of us because of them. Now they coming out and saying that because they're seeing the results, because the good is really suffering because of the bad. The moment the world got globalized, the moment a lot of brothers start getting passports and start traveling, and they start seeing that, wait a minute, hold on. You actually cooking a meal and you ask me if I'm hungry? Or you won't come and let's have a date and you're not expecting me to do this, expecting me to do that, and you just smiling, you happy, what? You don't have an attitude, you're not calling me weird for stupidity. You're actually smiling? Really? You smiling? And well, you know, brothers are taken aback to that when these different cultures. And listen, you could talk to brothers that even, because, you know, a lot of, it's certain countries that brothers have traveled to, but even because, you know, the first defense is going to be when you hear brothers, you know, the message about brothers are traveling, automatically they're going to assume Brazil, which Brazil actually is half black. They're going to assume Brazil. They're going to assume probably Thailand, Dominican Republic, which a lot of black people there too, Dominican Republic, Philippines, etc. But a lot of brothers even going to Africa. A lot of brothers. You know, these brothers now, they say, shoot, they have discovered Ethiopia. And them brothers discovered, you know, Ethiopian women. They're like, man, them women nice. They this and that. They got that long black hair. They have this. Like a lot of brothers. I'm telling you what these brothers are saying. These brothers are saying that, look, these women are traditional. They feminine. They this and that and the third. So what it is and what's happening is because these brothers have been discovering this. These brothers don't have to put up with the attitude. They don't have to put up with the you need to make six figures. You need to be 6 feet tall, which the people that make six figures in America is very low. Even white folks who got the most advantage, all of them don't make six figures like that. We talking about white men, they got the most advantage because of the system, the way it's created. They don't even make six figures like that. The average American in this country, let's say even in the white community, we talking about average, they don't make six figures. So you literally cutting off the dating pool for yourself because you want somebody that makes six figures. And that's not the average, not even for white men. You say 6 feet tall or taller. I'm still trying to figure out what the height got to do with anything. But then the brother, let's say the brother's not 6 feet. Let's say the brother 5'7", 5'8", 5'6", whatever. He go overseas and he don't have to worry about hearing about no 6 feet tall. Matter of fact, the allure of him being a foreigner is a big thing for some of them. And then if he brings his American dollars to whatever said country he go to, his exchange rate is going to be pretty high. He can afford more expensive things in these other countries than possible he could afford it here. And not even breaking the freaking bank. He can stay in 5-star hotels, rent high-end Airbnbs. Hell, he can even buy him some property out there because of the exchange rate of the American dollar. And women that he couldn't even get close to here in America because they got their nose turned up. They think they're so much better. They think they deserve this, that, and the third. He could easily get that somewhere else. And actually, the woman is genuine about it. And then when you talk like that, little women defense to that, oh, they just want a green card. Not everybody want a green card. Not everybody begging to come to America like that. There's millions and billions of people throughout the world ain't begging to come here. Please. I tell people all the time from other countries, America catfished all y'all. Like somebody would catfish you on a social media site when you talking about dating or whatever. They look one way, then you meet them like, what the hell? That's how America did the world. They catfished everybody. Most countries don't even have these issues and problems. But brothers have discovered that. And because they have discovered that, now you don't have the monopoly on that anymore. And once again, not to say that these black men want to go to all these different groups of women, because I've heard this many times before. If black men promoting African women, black men promoting Caribbean women, you know, I'm talking about actually going to those countries and getting those women, not the ones that get imported here. Because the problem with those that get imported here is that they eventually turn into the modern woman because it's a culture here. It's a culture in America. It's not on one particular race. It's the culture, because white guys are complaining about the same thing. Hispanic guys are complaining. Asian guys are complaining. It's the culture. So no, these guys actually go to the countries to get these women. Some of them even move into these countries with these women. They say, look, because one of the worst things you don't want to do, fellas, is get a woman from over there and bring her here. Don't do that, because this culture going to have a bad effect on her. You do better getting her over there and staying over there. That's what your best bet, to keep her within her culture and everything. But a lot of people from other cultures were raised on a traditional family. And you look in America, marriage in the traditional family It's demonized in America. It's heavily demonized. Men, in a sense, want a traditional family. They want that. And I think men should get that. And if it takes you traveling somewhere to find your spouse, then do that. You want to be married, brother? You want to have some kids or whatever? Nothing wrong with going to discover love somewhere else, brother, throughout the world. This world's huge. You don't have to put up with the mouth. You don't have to put up with all of the you don't want to cook. What's wrong with him? Why can't he cook? I was watching a video on TikTok where the brother talked about that he asked his girl for a glass of water, and she made a big deal about a glass of water. And she was right there. And she didn't want to get a glass, arguing about a glass of water. But then he met somebody else. I think what would the brother say? He met a girl in Colombia. And he said he don't even ask for anything, and she brings him water, brings him food, brings him this, bring him that. When brothers get exposed to that, how can you argue that at that point? This is why these brothers not showing up. And the more and more black men do good financially, that's going to be even worse. This is why what's happening now is that successful women are dating broke dudes because that's the only dudes they can control. Because dudes that got their act together, dudes that's making a little money, they're not putting up with it. This is, once again, this is what Brother Kevin was trying to tell y'all. And y'all didn't want to listen. Now you're seeing a rise of women since Kevin's been gone come out saying, hey, wait a minute, hold on. I ain't like that. What's up? You know. So only thing I can say is change your ways. Like I said, I'm not out there looking for anything. But for you brothers that's out here, you know, we live in a global economy. And so competition is a good thing, because when someone has a monopoly on you, they treat you any kind of way. But when competition comes up, then now they got to compete, you know, for you, then you may get treated a little better. But, you know, let me know what y'all think about this, you know, especially fellas, not showing up. Now, of course, they did have other singles mixers, other days, and dudes did show up to this same location. There was just another day, another time. Maybe it was promoted a little bit better. I don't know. But that particular one, dudes didn't show up to that one. I'm just saying that I agree with the women that's coming out speaking against the bad behavior. I support those women wholeheartedly. And I don't think those women should suffer because of the bad behavior of certain ones, you know, in the community. But be loud, you know, stand out. And I do believe those women can obtain family. I do believe those women can obtain marriage. I believe they can. You have more opportunity to do it because you live in closer proximity to a lot of these brothers living in America. But I'm just saying, stand out, because more and more as these brothers become successful, you know, they're getting in that global economy and also that global dating world. And, you know, it's a competition out there.